back my butterfly kaleidoscope to One Hook, Two Hands. This is Sarah, the creator behind One Hook, Two Hands, and today we are finally starting our 6th project. So I'm really excited about this. Each of these squares are something that I have created, and to me represent the one of the different ladies of the 6 musical. If you are new here, welcome. I am Sarah, the creator behind One Hook, Two Hands, and I like to call my subscribers butterflies because butterflies bring me hope and joy, as each and every one of you bring me hope and joy every day. And kaleidoscope is what happens when butterflies land and take off, is like you saw in the intro. And oh guys, sorry, Yarn Bingo was starting early today. I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to get this video out, but apparently I am, so here we go. But we are going to, if you do like this video, feel free to flutter on down to the like button, and if you enjoy it, want to see more, feel free to flutter on down to that subscribe button. Starting today, so in order to do the final project that I'm going to do at the end with all of these squares, I actually need 8 squares. So I have kind of created 2 additional squares based off different things. And the first one is our Tudor Rose. So I am going to teach you guys how to do this Tudor Rose. And it is, guys, it turned out so good. I really do love this square. But August is Granny Square month. It's also my birth month. In fact, I will be turning a new number at the end of the week. It just felt so good to do something creative and fun for my birthday with some different yarns. And I'm excited to show you how to make this square. So we are starting with the Tudor Rose. Next week will be Catherine of Aragon. Then we will have Anne Boleyn. And our final square for the month of August will be Jane Seymour. Now, if you know, you know, but there's 6 ladies, and like I said, I needed 8 squares to finish the project I wanted to do. So we are going to start with the Tudor Rose. And there's not really a whole lot of Tudor Rose patterns out there, but this is one that I created and came up with, kind of using the yarns that I did have. So if you know, I kind of worked really hard to try to find yarn that matched the 6th, the musical. If you've not heard me talk about it so far, the 6th is a Broadway musical that talks, the idea behind it, it was actually a thesis project for a girl in England who watched a documentary on the wives of Henry VIII, and like there was so much more detail that she never knew about the wives of Henry VIII, the 6 wives, and was kind of wanting to give them their spotlight and like share more information about them than like what we generally get in the public, or what we think we know. That's why one of my favorite lines is, let me tell you my story. I'm more than, one line relegated to a poem or something like that. I can't, guys, my brain is not braining right now. But that said, she gave each one of the idea is they've all made it into this girl group together, and now they're competing to be the lead singer of the group. And the opening song is called Dead, Beheaded, Died. Or no, sorry, Divorced, Beheaded, Died. Divorced, Beheaded, Survived. And but at the end of the day, it's all talking about being a Tudor Rose in like different lines, and so about their different parts of their story and whether they are a Tudor Rose or not. And so I wanted to open up with having a Tudor Rose as my 4th square for this month. This series will actually take us 2 months to do. So you'll be getting these videos hopefully on Monday every week. I do apologize. I know I put up a post, but my tooth was feeling a little bit better after a nap, so hopefully it'll hold. For those of you who don't know, I do have a pretty nasty toothache that is going to need a crown and root canal at some point, so that's upcoming on later in August, and so we'll see how things go, but we are taking it one day at a time. So I am in quite a bit of pain, so if I'm a little off the wall, sorry guys, but let's get started. So if you didn't see my prep video, I am using YarnArt Manhattan yarn for this project, except for 2 skeins, which is the YarnArt Cotton Sparkle and Sparkle. So under the Manhattan, this is colored 915. Our gold is 902. Our silver is 901. And the red is 904. Excuse me, guys. So we're going to start with our gold. And I am using a Clover Moore G hook, 4.0 millimeter. You will also need some scissors and a yarn needle. And let's get started. So let me find the end because I feel like this has gotten all tangled up. Give me 1 second, guys. From when I was last using it. Just trying not to get it tangled so that when I'm in the middle of yarning here, we get a problem. Okay, I think we're good now. So, like I said, we're going to start with our gold yarn. You're going to make a magic ring. So for those of you who've never done that before, the way that I like to do it is I put a piece of yarn over 2 of my fingers, yarn over once, pull it off, and then we are going to start by making 12 single crochets in our magic ring. So I just need 1 loop on my hooks, so I yarn over once into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that's my first single crochet, and we are going to make 12. So 2, 3. Guys, I feel like you need to be a little bit closer, so bear with me as I move the camera. We'll see how this works. I'm sorry for the arm shots in the middle of this, but I am trying to make sure you can see a little bit better. I was trying to work with the lighting and everything, and wasn't sure if it was working. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pull it. Now, this yarn is a little harder to frog and pull back because it does have a little bit of a wool base to it. So just going to put it out there. You are going to find that frogging is a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you do have that kind of issue where you need to frog, just gonna warn you. So if it's better to count twice before moving along, I would do that. You're gonna pull that close, and then you're gonna slip stitch to the first chain single crochet that you made, which is right here. Right, hold on, 1, 2, 3. Like I said, the first little bit's a little tricky. Don't do that to me, computer. So I finally got a program that will let me go across my phone and my laptop when it comes to my patterns. So hopefully that means I'll be able to share more of the ones that I've actually made. Now, I'm going to wait till this is a little bit bigger before I fasten off, because it's just going to be an irritating problem. Okay, so we slip stitch to the top. So what we are going to do is being popcorning stitching in each stitch and chain 2 around. So let's see. To make a popcorn stitch, you do 5 double crochets. So in that same initial stitch, you want to do 1. Double crochet is just where you yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we got 2 double crochets, we need 3 more. 3. 4. And 5. Now, to do a popcorn, you pull that up, you go back into your first double crochet, you go into the hook from there, or the loop from there, and you pull that through your first double crochet and chain 1. That gives you a popcorn stitch. The chain 1 is a part of the stitch that is not a separate, counted as a separate stitch. So here is our first popcorn stitch. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2. You're going to skip that first single crochet and go into the next one and popcorn stitch again. Well, you are if your yarn behaves. It is going to be a little bit fiddly. Like I said, it's a little tight. It looks so pretty when you're done. Because remember, this is what we're creating right now. This little center part of the flower. All right. 1, 2. 3. 4. 5. Chain 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. Oh no, I forgot, guys. you don't skip a stitch. I made a mistake, so yes, I'm gonna have to frog. As I can say, it can catch sometimes, so that's where it gets a little tricky. This is in every single crochet around because you're wanting 12 popcorn stitches. I apologize because I did this wrong, which is why it's going to make it a little tight, but the setup is so worth it. I don't think I got it in the proper stitch there. Oh, please. Okay. There we go. Guys, I wasn't properly in that stitch, so here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Guys, I will see you when I get to the other side, back over here, okay? So basically that's just what you're doing. You're just creating a popcorn stitch, and then you're chaining 2, which will feel like 3 chains because you finish the popcorn stitch with a chain, but in every stitch, you do a popcorn, and then you chain 3. See you in a bit. Alright guys, I just had to come back on for the last 2 because one of the things I remembered as I was doing this is how often it can be really hard to see that stitch that you're needing to go into because it can often become hidden when you do the previous popcorn stitch. So I kind of just wanted to show that really clearly. So you yarn over and you're going to go in. See, there's the one you would think would be the next stitch, but it's not. The next stitch is right there. So you go in, yarn over, and then once you get that first double crochet in, it does make it a little bit easier for the other 4 double crochets in that stitch. 3, 4, 5, pull that up, go in over here, pull through. And even if you're a beginner to crochet, I think you'll be able to, with this video, hopefully be able to do what I'm showing you how to do. It's definitely an intermediate or maybe considered an advanced square, and you'll see what I mean as we go. Even these popcorn stitches kind of place it on a different level. So yarn over, go into the stitch, go yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's our, we're making our final popcorn stitch here. 2, 3, 4, 1 more, 5, Gonna loop in, pull it up, finish off the popcorn stitch. Now instead of chain 2 here, you're going to chain 3 because we're going to do a invisible join. And I feel like having that extra little chain just makes it a little bit easier. So you're going to fasten off. Pull that through. Pull it tight. And like always, I'm Mrs. Let's make sure it's secure. Anchor it down. Now, if you've never done an invisible join before, what you do is you come over 2 places. So with popcorn stitch, what I like to do is I come into the chain on the popcorn stitch. I like to go ahead and put my needle in before I start pulling this through, but I pull it through. And then in this third one, you're going to use that and go down into the 2 loops of the previous stitch right here. If you guys can see that, I'm trying to make sure that's really clear with the camera. But you go into that make sure your yarn is still in your needle. Sometimes it does pop out, but then you pull it through and it essentially creates a V on the top, which is going to look like your chain. And then you just tie it off. And there you have your invisible join. And it will make such a big difference when you see it in the rest of the pattern. It'll make such a big difference in the way things lay and the way things look. But we've now got our 12 popcorn stitches for our center. And because I want to go ahead and anchor it, pull this down. And you can either go ahead and weave in your ends or wait till the end. This one, I'm going to go ahead and do as I go, say a little like some of our other projects that we've done. It's just easier if you go ahead and weave them in. Come on. And depending on the size of the yarn you use, you may need to adjust your needle size, but I'm trying to get it to behave here. Again, it's kind of that catchy yarn, so don't worry, it softens up, but looks so pretty. And I like to go in 2 or 3 directions, depending on what I'm feeling like that day. When it comes to these ends, and then you can trim it off. And same thing with up here. Like with some of our granny squares in the book that we do from time to time, this is definitely the kind of granny square that you need to do you're weaving in as you go. And I know that's not my normal MO, so you know, if I say it, it's really important. Let's see. And that is the last of the gold that you will use for this, so you can go ahead and put that up. I'm trying to make sure, because I've got this 8 Ways to Sunday weirdly wound, so I'm gonna wound this up. But we will need it here when we do our next square too, just to give you a little preview. And then next up, you need to get your black or your color B yarn. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, it's underneath my square over here. So grab your black. Put it on your hook. Now, what we are going to be doing is, you can join it in any of these chain spaces and make a standing double single crochet. Then you're going to make 3 more in the chain 3 space, 2, or chain 2 space, 3, right, 1, for a total of 4 single crochets in this space. Then you are going to make a single crochet in the top of your popcorn stitch, and then 4 single crochets in the chain space. 2. I forgot to, if you've never, so again, a single crochet is just into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. And when you do it into the popcorn, you're going to do it in that first chain, in that chain you made to close off the popcorn stitch. Okay, so you're just going to do that around, and I will see you on the other side. Alright guys, and so when you get around, when you make that final standing single crochet in the top of your last popcorn stitch, I like to do a chain, because we're going to fasten off with our invisible join. Yarn pull tight. Go into this stitch, the second single crochet right here. Put your yarn through. Pull through. And then you're going to go into that chain. And into this second, or this first single crochet here. Your standing single crochet. And you're going to go through that loop right there and pull through. Now, it is completely on the back end, because these are so close, we can actually just do this before we weave in the ends. Now, let's see, that's going to go in this direction, so just wiggle your way through. Excuse me, guys. So, because I have the toothache, I've been on antibiotics, and the antibiotics have messed me up. So I'm kind of dealing with 2 things right now. So, like I said in the post earlier, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do this. However, I did take a nap and it helped some. So here I am recording. Again, you will get this video in the box this week, and Again, we're taking it one day at a time. Hoping to get everything recorded before the 19th so that way after the root canal I can have a few days to let my tooth heal before I start trying to record again, with the hopes that you can understand me very clearly. So we've got that done. I'm gonna move this aside. We're gonna get our red out. No, sorry, our silver. So this is where things kind of get a little bit more advanced. So watch me. I will try to make this as clear as I can. But what you're gonna do is pick a side to start on, and you're gonna make a back post single crochet in the third single crochet in any chain space. So here's our chain space, right? Either side, there's our 4. So on this third one, you're gonna make a back post standing back post single crochet. So in order to do that, you've got your silver on your hook. You go from the back to the front to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. Now you're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you are going to skip 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Hold please. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm putting my finger there so I don't lose my count. And now we're going to back post single crochet around this one. So just to reiterate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11. So we skipped those 11. We went from the back to the front to the back around this single crochet, and we're putting our fitting our yarn into that little ridge right there, yarning over, pulling through and pulling up a loop. Now we've got 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through. You're gonna do this around, and then you're gonna slip stitch into the initial back post double crochet. I will show you guys that when we get there. Alright guys, so we are back around to this. Basically what we're doing right now is turning this from like something you could call an even number to an odd number, because a Tudor Rose has 5 petals. And so in order to make that Tudor Rose, we had to make adjustments. So we've got our last little bit here. I've already made the 4 here. And we are just closing this off by slip stitching into that first back post single crochet. And then you're also going to slip stitch into the next chain space. Guys, this is a little bit of a complicated pattern, so I can't do this as much with just off the top of my head as I can say maybe some other ones. Why is my computer choosing this moment to be a pain? So for row 5, we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to do 12 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I'm just going to do a quick count. That first 3, you're not counting in this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to slip stitch into the same chain space. So essentially there's 14 stitches you can consider in here. Basically, we're trying to create that iconic Tudor Rose square look to the petals. So in order to do that, you're doing a chain 3 and a chain 3 on either side to kind of square up the petal. And so then you slip stitch back in to the chain 3 space. Now you're going to slip stitch into the chain, or the single crochet, and into the chain space. You're going to slip stitch into there, chain 3, and do the same thing. And I will meet you around when we come back to this side. So really, like I said, it's just chain 3, 12 double crochets, chain 3, slip stitch into the chain space, slip stitch into the single, stitch into the new single chain space. I will see you when we get back to the beginning. All right, guys, so when you get back over here and you've chained 3 and you've slip stitched into, excuse me guys, the chain space, you are going to slip stitch into this initial chain, which I know it's like it's had a lot of slip stitches, but you're going to slip stitch into there. And now you are going to slip stitch up the chain 3, which again is actually going to help you in creating that firm edge, except that did not go through like I thought it did. Hold please. But it does help you create a sturdier supporting edge. Then you are going to chain 3, I was just double checking for a second to make sure that what I wrote was correct. What you're gonna do is, if I can get this to behave, is you're gonna double crochet the next two together. So you're gonna go here. So if you've never done double crochet two together, you yarn over, go into your first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, you've got two loops on the hook. Now you yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through all three. And you double crocheted two together. Now you're gonna double crochet in the next three. One, two, and three. You're going to double crochet two together. Crochet in the next three. One, two, and three. Wait a minute. Hold that thought, please. I think I just did two stitches in the same stitch. That's why it's like math not mathing. Oh yeah, I did two double crochets in the same stitch, which is not what you're supposed to do. That's two. That's three. Then you're going to double crochet two together. And two. Now you're going to chain three, one, two, and three, because again we're creating that hard edge, and you're going to slip stitch back into the chain three, the first chain three, and now you are going to slip stitch down that initial chain three, and then you're going to slip stitch your way into here, into the single crochet. Then you're going to slip stitch into the base of this chain three and repeat the process. So what you do is chain three, you slip stitch your way up the first row, chain three, double crochet two together, three double crochets, double crochet two together, three double crochets, three double crochets, double crochet two together, chain three, slip stitch into the top of the first chain three, or the last chain three, and slip stitch all your way down, and slip stitch into the single crochet, and then into the base of the next one, and rinse and repeat. I will see you on the other side. But again, we're creating that really nice little flower, Tudor flower pattern. Alright guys, so I've come back around. As you can see, we're already starting to create that iconic Tudor shape, which I love. I just love the way that that silver looks, that silver white. And I like the way that the petals end up showing out. So I've gotten back all the way around and slip stitched back into that first single crochet. So now we are going to fasten this off and weave in the ends. And you don't have to do an invisible join here. You can if you prefer, if you find you're liking that. But ultimately, the big deal is to fasten it off. And weave in our ends. Be back in a second. All right, so we finished that off. We wove in the ends. Now we're going back to our black color. And we are going to edge the petals essentially. And you start by slip stitching into any petals, 2 double crochets together. You're going to slip stitch into that. You're going to chain 1 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 1, slip stitch into each chain on any of the sides. And it's going to create this nice little border. You can already kind of see it, right? What it does is it creates this nice little textured border around your petals. And you'll be doing this at least once more when we get to the red ones. But it's just a slip stitch, chain 1 all the way around. And you're going to do it in every stitch. So just keep on doing it all the way down. Sorry, I'm trying to show you guys what it looks like when you get down to our gap here. Slip stitch. I know I'm not being as vocal or talking about as many things as I normally do, or about the musical like I probably normally would. Mouth is really hurting, guys. I'm just trying to get this out for you guys. So I will hopefully have this out Monday or Tuesday. But I'm just slowly, like I said, getting one. And if you just saw me, what I did is I did one in the single crochet and then one in the base, or the slip stitch. I slip stitched chain 1 into the very last base of the chain here. Come on. I know it's shiny, but work with me here. And then I did the same thing into the single crochet, and then I've done it into the base over here, and I just continue my way up and around, and I'll see you on the other side. But I will, like I said, I am trying to get this out for you guys, so I'm not talking as much today, but hopefully you still are enjoying this video. See you when we're back up here. All right, guys, so I've gone all the way around, all the different petals, all the back post single crochets, and I'm back over here to where we started. So you're just going to slip stitch into that, yarn over, pull it up, fasten it off, weave in the ends, and I'll see you as soon as that's done. All right, guys, so far we have got our center flower, our edging to make it pop, and our white part of our Tudor Rose. And now we are going to make, sorry for the yawn, guys, our third part, or our red part of the flower. So you're going to have color D, which is your red and black, on your hook. And you're going to choose any middle double crochet two together. So if you can see that, that's one of our middle double crochets two together. And you are going to make is a standing, right? Yeah. You're going to make a standing back post single crochet in that double crochet two together. So it's right here. You're going to yarn around it. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two here. Next up, guys, I've got a fly, so if you see me swatting around weirdly, I apologize. Next up, you're going to chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you are going to go to your next middle double crochet two together and back post single crochet. And you're just going to do this around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good thing is, because you know that you're looking for a specific stitch that's kind of unique in the middle of these, you do not have to count all the stitches in between to figure it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That post single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I can find out a way to put a little bit of the first song from the 6 into this, I will, without it causing problems, because you know, YouTube copyrights, all those things. But if I can find a way to play a snippet, I will probably play it at some point during the course of this video. Maybe for my intro or my outro. We'll see. So we are all the way back around, and you are going to slip stitch into this initial back post single crochet, and then slip stitch into here, and this part's going to feel really familiar. So you can chain 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are going to do 6 treble crochets. So a treble crochet, you yarn over twice on your hook, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. So you have 3 trebles, right? So you are going to do 16 in the chain space for it to. So again, we are doing 16 treble crochets in the chain space. This is 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay, guys. Sorry, I had a couple malfunctions going on, so I had to fix it. So bear with me. But we've done 6. So we did our chain 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 treble crochets, and then you're going to chain 4. Do exactly what we did in those first petals. Slip stitch into the chain space, slip stitch into your single crochet, back post single crochet, slip stitch into your chain space, and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just keep doing that around, and I will see you when we're back over here. Alright guys, we are back. My tooth is hurting, so I'm going to try to do this as best as I can for y'all, but understand it is going to be touch and go. So when you get down over here and you've gotten slip stitched into the final chain space, slip stitch into your back post single crochet, slip stitch into the next chain space. This is going to be a little different than the previous one. You're now going to do a chain 4, 2, 3, 4. You're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain space, and you are going to chain 4. You're going to double. Hold on, I think I wrote the wrong thing. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Double treble, or not double treble crochet 2 together. So what that looks like is you yarn over twice, like we're going to do a treble crochet, then you're going to go into the stitch right here, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You will now have 2 loops on your hook, just so you can kind of see that better. Then you're going to yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, and do the same. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Then you're going to double crochet or triple crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, treble crochet 3 together, or 2 together, sorry, not 3. 1, 2, treble crochet in the next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Double or treble crochet 2 together, chain 4, slip stitch here, please ignore my air fryer, and then slip stitch into the chain space. There we go. Now you've got your leaf. Now you're going to slip stitch into the single crochet, and slip stitch into the chain space, and repeat that around. And I will see you on the other side. So guys, you slip stitch into that final, or into that starting single back post single crochet, fasten it off, and like everything else, you're going to go ahead and weave in your ends. But now you've got your red petals, and don't worry about how much it curls, because we will take care of that when we block it. And so this is the kind of thing that does require blocking, but do come back here, anchor it down, and then weave it in. See you in a second. All right, guys, so we are finished with the red petals, and now we are going to do essentially what we did on the white petals for the edging. So you're going to go into the last treble 2 together of that final row, slip stitch into it, chain 1, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, and just continue that around just as we did before. So really you're just doing exactly what you did on this row, you're doing up here. And do that all the way around, and then I will see you when you get back to this. See you in a moment. Alright guys, this is take 2 of what we're about to do. Yeah, I was kind of out of it when I was doing this the first time, and so I've had to come back and do this, but basically wherever I fastened off and wove in my ends on this. So we've got our black leaves and edge on our red leaves. And so what now we are going to be working in the back loops of, oh guys, sorry. Try not to yawn, and I'm trying to be able to still speak. So I've got my green that I'm going to use for this one because I could use the darker green, but I may want it for something else later. So I'm going to use my light green YarnArt Sparkle. You're going to pick a leaf. It doesn't have to be any particular one, but you're going to pick your leaf. You're going to come to that treble crochet two together, not three, two together. And then you are going to, and this is a little tricky, and I'm going to try to do my best to show you guys. Hopefully this is showing up really well on the camera and not being inky. But you're going to come into the back loops of both of the treble crochets involved, or of the two stitches. But like I said, you're going into the bottom back loops, and you're going to be working in those in all of this around. So you're going to work in the bottom back loops. See, here's our we'll crochet two together, and you're going into these bottom back loops. And I'm trying everything I can to try to make my camera focus really, really well, and it is, but I still am trying because of the shiny. It's going to do its thing, but you're going to go through both because when you're doing one right here, it's one stitch. So you're going to go through that. You're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through the two. So you've basically done a single crochet in the back loops of the double treble, or the treble two together. That's a mouthful. Treble two together, treble two together, treble two together. You're going to do a single crochet in that. But what you're doing is you're creating that without creating like the little visible loop that you will get if you did a back post treble single crochet. So you've got that. Now this is where it gets fun, and I had gotten my count off earlier, and so I had to make sure I told you how to do this correctly, guys, because there's a lot of counting in this that is important. So we are going to now chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then you're going to come over to this little joint in between the two petals. I'm going to turn it over. This is from my earlier attempt. So you are going to do a double crochet, a treble crochet, and a double crochet in the back loops. Again, everything's in the back loops. So however you have to do that, because sometimes it's going to be finicky. So, on some of these, it may be, hey, I've got to do in the loops I can get in. You do what you got to do. But you do double. Now, in the very bottom, we're going to do a treble. And this is the one that really likes to give me a headache. So bear with me as I try to figure out how we're going to do this correctly. Because I may have got that one too tight. Oh, because we're going to do it this way. That's what we did in the previous round when I messed up. Treble, 2, 3, and double. This is where it starts to get a little more advanced, but it is so simple if you guys just have some patience. And then you're going to come over here in the next two, of whichever next two will allow you, as best as you can, and you're going to do a double. And again, it's coming from the back. So eventually this is going to kind of be hidden a little bit, but it's going to create that nice little leaf look. Okay. So once you do that, you're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you do want to kind of be loose but firm. And I know that's so oxymoronic, but we are trying to create some tension here, but you're also going to need it loose for what you're doing. Guys, sorry. Guys, I just, I'm having trouble because I have the infection and then the medication I've been on, everything's setting every other thing off. So, but I really want to get this done and I really want you guys to see this. So, I am trying. So, you're going to chain 10. You are going to go into the 10th post of this row. So, you're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. I'm looking at my backup just to make sure, guys, I'm telling you correctly. So it's 10 and 10, and then this one, so it's yeah. So in the back post of this, you're going to come through, go into those loops right here. And again, this is kind of like what the first one we did. But you're going to go in the back loops. You're not going around, you're going in the back loops at the base of it and single crocheting. And that is in the 10th post of that petal. And just so you see how I counted, because I don't want you to count incorrectly and it be off. I don't count the one that has the black on it, and yes, this is one stitch, but we're counting it as 2 posts. So you're going in the 10th post, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and then this 10th post, okay? Now you are going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to go back to do our double, treble, double in the back loops here. So you're going to come around here and do okay. Yes, I see you. I'm just trying to make sure I do this right, guys. These do not always want to cooperate. I really did crochet this a little too tight, honestly. I knew better. I shouldn't have. But I was also feeling bad and just trying to get it done when I did it the other day, so I do apologize if you're like, girl. But like I said, you will know better and you can do it better. So now we're going to 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do a double. And these loops right here, or this loop right here, I prefer to do it in 2, but if you need to do it in 1 because of tightness, feel free. So we did 6. The reason I keep looking over here and pausing, because if you do not count this right, it is not going to go well, and you do not want to lose track of what you're doing if you're count on these. So now we are going to do 14 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, hold please. My little stringy end is being a little bit of a brat, so I'm trying to unbrat it. Give me 1 second here. Where did I put the... There they are. Seriously, if you work with YarnArt Sparkle, you're going to be cutting off the raspy ends, but like once you knot it, it stays, but it's just a pain in the process. So we're doing 14 here. So let me go back and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. One more. Chain 14, and then we're going in the 14th post of the previous row, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is our 14th post. I'm going to come around here. We're going to go in the back post, loops, single crochet. We are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last night I way knew I was off, and I'm telling you right now, I feel so much better in doing it correctly. So now we're going to do another double, treble, double. Let's have to do my double up here. We're going to treble. You know, double treble. Not a double treble, but a double trouble. Come on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get it in the loop, and to get it in the loop sometimes, I can't quite get it on camera. But then you're going to treble crochet 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to double. Just right here. So we chained 4, did all that. We are now going to chain 16. And I'm moving it as I go, because if I don't, I will get off, guys. I'm trying hard not to do that. So we're going to chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you're just going to go to the easiest thing to say is you're just going to the last post over here. On this one, you're going to go to the furthest post you can get, right here, and go in the back loops of this one and single crochet. So this next petal, you're going all the way over, and now you're going to do your double, treble, double, and the back loops of your stitches over here in whatever way they decide that they're going to behave. I know. It's a little bit by feel, but the count is important. The numbers are important. The actual way that you do these stitches, depending on what you're trying to get in, it's just whatever you can get it to behave with. 2, 3, and I don't know what this one, there, another piece of that fray. But now you're going to double in this last set of loops in the back. So we did 16. Now you're going to do another 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, now you're going to do another double treble. Double treble double, and then and again, this is one of those I'm going to have to finagle a little bit off camera to get in my back loops here. I want to say something real quick over here though. Yep. And this last one, when we do get to the last chain space we're about to do, it's going to feel like that one was like cut short. It kind of is a little bit, in order to get our count correct, for what we're setting up for the next, it is going to feel a little tight, but this is one where you can kind of chain loose and make use of your tension on the next row to make it look like it was totally intentional or more intentional than it ended up becoming. Let's see here. You're going to, like I said, somehow I got off in my counting in the previous one that I filmed, and so I'm glad I came back and redid it, because I can already tell you this is much more like what it's supposed to be, and you can kind of see the square we're creating, right? Because we are going to do, you're basically now taking what was um, a 5 and making it 4, so we're giving it corners. And now we're going to chain 2, come over to the back, this first single crochet, and we're going to slip stitch into that. And then, okay, I really need to see if I can undo this color together the way I've got them. I tied them together because I started to work on it and it felt way wrong. And so, yeah, we're going to undo it now. And it's going to be mad at me, but don't worry. But yeah, you slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made in this row. You know what? I'm just going to do this. And no, that's a little too close. Let me see if I can't finish this up. I'm going to get rid of that. And I might be able to make this work. Kind of doing a little finagling to get my links to line up. Because it wouldn't quite come all the way out, so I'm kind of using knots and stuff to correct my mistake at the back here. I'm going to use like a couple turns over and such to like correct it. But then you're going to change into your color B, which is your black, and silver color. So that should be the color you pull up from. I hate this yarn sometimes. Because when it wants to get caught up in stuff, it gets caught up in stuff. But you're going to pull up your color B to change color. I just messed up again. I will be back momentarily. Alright, butterflies, I figured it out. So, as you can see, we've got our nice little square shaping up. You go in this last stitch. You're going to slip stitch there. Now, y'all, this is the important part. Do not fasten off. That was where I made my mistake, and that's where I had problems just a second ago. And I even have it like emboldened in my pattern. Do not fasten off here. And guess what? I fastened off, so I had to redo this. Guys, this is what antibiotics, a bad immune system, and a nervous disorder can do for you. However, we press on because we have a Tudor Rose to finish. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your black yarn, your B color, and you're going to essentially, in this first chain you're going to make, you're going to change colors. But you're going to keep this going because you're going to carry the yarn. Carry is just a fancy term for yarning over yarn as you go so that you don't lose it. So that's what we're going to do. So change to color B. Now you do, because I like to anchor things, and you guys have heard probably me say that way more than you're willing to, but I'm tying that right there just to keep everything secured, especially because of the yarn you were using. Now, you've got your black on your hook. You're going to carry your color E or your green yarn as we go. Now, you should, so that did one chain. Now you need 3 more for a total of 4 for a total of 4 chains. 2, 3, and 4. Now, this doesn't actually really count as a stitch, but we are using it to start what we're about to do. Now, you are going to do 12 treble crochets into your next chain space. Okay? 1, 2, except let's not do a double when you need to do a treble. You do need to do trebles on this, guys. 3, so 2, 3, and 12. So now we've got our 12 treble crochets inside of this chain space. So 2, 4, 6, 10, 12. Next up, you are going to change to color E. So what we're actually going to do is undo this top part, and we are going to change over to color B. You are going to treble crochet in the next 3 stitches. So in these 3 green stitches, you are going to treble crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Except in this last one, we're going to go change colors back to our B color. This is our black. We're going to switch, we're going to change colors. And then we are going to 12 treble crochet into this next chain space. 1, 2, 3. So do 12 and I'll see you shortly. All right, so when you get that 12 treble crochets in that chain space, you are going to chain 2. And then you are going to treble crochet 8 in this next chain space. You're going to skip the single crochet altogether and just go into the chain space and do 8 treble crochets. So far we had 12, 3 in the green, 12, chain 2, and now we are doing 8. And guys, don't worry about how curled or how weird it feels maybe in the moment, because it will work itself out once you block it. And hear me, you have got to block when it comes to these. I did a dry block on mine. I'm going to do a steam block on this one to see if there's any real big difference, but it is important to block these. 6. 7. And don't forget to carry your yarn. You don't want to lose it anywhere. You want to keep yarning over the green and carrying it around as you go so that you have enough. 2, 4, 6, 7. One more here, which is 8. And when you get to this last one, you are going to change it back to our color E or green yarn. You are going to now carry the black yarn and do 3 treble crochets, or do a treble crochet in each of these stitches across. Because trying to hold everything sometimes is a little tricky, and also make sure the camera can capture it. 1, 2, and in the third one, you're going to switch back to your black. 3. And if you need to kind of help with the stitching and the tension, just pull slightly on both strands, okay? Both your green and your black. Next up, you're going to do 16 treble crochets in this chain space. 1. So you get 16 in this space. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and you're going to do 6 treble crochets in the next chain space. I know this is a lot of counting, but again, we're going from 4 to 5, or from 5 leaves to 4 to 4 sides. So come on, work with me, my little yarn. Okay guys, that light green is curling up way more than the dark green did on me. and it's frustrating me just a little bit, but I wanted to give 2 different views so you can see what you prefer when it comes to the green of the leaves. When you get to the top of this one, you are going to change to color E or green. And we are going to carry the bee yarn, so make sure to yarn over that. And you are going to treble crochet in each one of these stitches across. And I do feel like you kind of have to get used to working with this YarnArt Sparkle a little bit because it's pure polyamide. So it is a little rough, but it does soften up. So there is that. I just kind of have to get used to working with it. And when you get over to the third one, you're going to change back to color B. It's going to stick to each other, and that's what causes a lot. So we did that. Now in this chain space, we're going to do 18 treble crochets. 1, 2, 'All right, guys, so when you get down to the end of the 18, you're going to change colors. You are going to chain 2 and then 3 and then treble crochet in the next 3 stitches. Because remember, you've got the back post right here. This is going to be your corner. And then you'll have your leaf. 1. And again, as always, do not forget to carry the yarn. Carry the yarn, carry the yarn, carry the yarn. 3. Now kind of pull that a little bit tighter so it kind of creates the tension you need. Oh, and don't forget, at the top of this one, to change your color. I know it's kind of finicky and a lot of tight and a lot of different set of instructions, but I am trying to show this because this is the odd count. Because again, kind of like when we created the petals, we're going from a 5 side to 4, and so you kind of have to really make sure your count is on, which is why these few rows are probably the most difficult of the whole pattern, if you will. And then you are going to, let's see, do 14 treble crochets, not 4, 14 treble crochets into the next chain space. 1. Okay, we've got 14. We switch colors. We go and do our 3 leaf stitches, which you're doing right here. Oh, and look at that. We're almost all the way around. Okay, guys, yarn behave. That really is the biggest part of this. It's just trying to keep your yarn happy, because from the wool and and polyamide in these yarns versus the polyamide in this, it does just create that little bit of extra sticky, and they don't want to get stuck to each other. We do this one, and you're going to change color back to black. Okay, yarn, behave or hive, whichever one you want to do, but like you need to do one of them. Yes, that was an Annie McPhee reference. Never knew I would get a back to black and an Annie McPhee reference in the same video. Guys, if you're enjoying this, please feel free to like and subscribe. This is typically how I am. My tooth is not killing me, but it is kind of killing me, so bear with me as I continue. And then we're going to do 3 treble crochets in this next one, except move that little piece, and at this point I'm about to like go ahead and weave that in here in just a second, just to get it out of the way, because it's driving me nuts. 2 treble crochets and 3 treble crochets. You are going to chain 2 and slip stitch, not into this chain space, because I remember I told you this one does not count as a stitch. These chains, you're going to slip stitch into the top of your next row. Now you are carrying yarn up a row, which is always fun. And so in order to do that, you're going to pull it up over the hook, but you are not going to pull it through as you go. You're just going to pull through the black. All right. And so what we have done is there's a corner here, there's a corner here, there is a corner over here, and there is a corner over here where our chain 2 spaces are. So we have created our corners, and it's a little hard to see with the flower over top, but we have our corners, and we are really close to being at the end. Let's see here. Now I'm going to take just a second and be back, and I'm going to weave in these 2 little ends right here just to create a little less issue. So I'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, so now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you are going to treble crochet in the same stitch. So 1, 2, and I like to do it in that little slip stitch as well, because it just creates that extra bit of security there. Also, it really helps you to cover up your carrying yarn as you go. Now, you are going to treble crochet in the next 9 stitches. So we just did that one. So 1, except I need to treble, not double. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can kind of pull on your carry yarn to kind of create the tension a little better. That is a benefit of having a carry yarn. I do not like one that's so clingy, but you know what? It's okay. 7, 8, come on, yarn, behave. Normally I would try to unravel this, but it's actually going to be worse because of the type of yarn it is. Like the more you try to, I don't know, maybe I can do it this way. We'll unravel just, or untangle just a little bit. I'm going to try that and see if it behaves. Okay. Like I said, it's a little bit of art, guys. 2, 4, 6, 8. And keeping this all happy. So we did 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now you're going to do 2 treble crochets in this next stitch. 1, 2. And at the top we are going to change to color B. Now, or sorry, E. Then you are going to do treble crochet 3 together. So basically, like that's like doing 2, except you're going to do 3. So what that looks like is you yarn over twice, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over twice, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You should now have 3 on your hook. Yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and now you've got 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And now you've got a leaf. Now, oh, I meant to do one other thing. You're also going to be changing colors. So when you get to the top here, we're going to change back to black by yarning and pulling through. The black yarn, not the green yarn at the top. Okay? And now you've got that pretty little leaf that you'll see from behind your Tudor Rose. Now, you are going to 2 treble crochet in the next stitch. Because again, because you did that treble together, you still need that amount of stitches. So that's why we're doing 2 on either side here, because you're essentially putting 1 back for each of the trebles that you took. Okay, come on, yarn. Again, there's a lot of counting here too. But now we've got that, right? Now, you are going to treble crochet in the next 11 stitches. So that'll get you to right here. See, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I'll see you when we get over here. Now, we are to our first corner. So what you're going to do for your corners is treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet. So treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, and that's your corner made. And I know it feels really tight, but you'll see what we're doing as we go. Next up, and you are going to treble crochet in the next 7 stitches. Do not forget the hidden stitch right here, because that could get hidden by your corner stitch, but make sure you get that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 6 and 7. And then right here, you're going to do 2 treble crochets, which you are going to change colors at the top of. So do remember, you are going to need to change colors at the top of this last one. So there's 1. And, well, I had it and I lost it. And 2. Now kind of pull that through so that it's not too loose or too tight on this one. And yarn over. And we now are in our color E or green era. Next up, you are going to treble crochet 3 together. Remember to change color just back to black at the top of the yarn. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Got our second leaf made, just to kind of show you what it looks like. Now you are going to do 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. If you're having trouble finding that one, just go down to the chain space, follow your first treble crochet all the way up, and that'll sometimes help you find the top. If you're having trouble based on any of the previous, and then you're just going to treble crochet across in the next 17 stitches, and then we'll be back to our corner. All right, we are back to the corner. So because we're still in black, you're going to do a treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet for the corner. And then for the next 2, 4, 5 stitches, you are going to do treble crochets. You can see we're about halfway there now. This is a big square, but it is definitely a good one. I'm hurting, guys. I'm hurting so bad, but I want to get this out for you guys. I will try to go in and put chapter breaks. I have learned how to do it, but we'll see how it actually works once I do it, right? Now, because we're here, we're going to do 2 trebles in this final stitch. 1. And we are going to change colors at the top of the second one. Well, we are, if I can pull it all the way through. Then we are going to treble crochet 3 together, and we'll change colors at the top of the stitch. Where we got our 4 on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now we will crochet on around through all of, we'll do 2 treble crochets in this next stitch. Sorry, got a little bit ahead of myself. And then you will treble crochet in the next 17 stitches. Alright guys, so we are now to our next corner. It's also a leaf corner, so this is a little bit different than ones we've been doing before. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 2, or you're going to do a treble crochet, chain 1, and then you're going to do 2 treble crochets in the chain space, because it gets a lot harder when you try to do this a different way. But you're also going to change color at the top of the second one. So when you get here, you're going to switch to our color B. And you are going to now do our treble crochet 3 together. And then you are going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Now we've got that nice little color change. You're going to do 2 treble crochets in the next stitch, treble crochet in the next 12, and then 2 treble crochet in the last black stitch. So 2 treble crochets on either end and singles in each one across. So see you in a second. So I'm back to the end where we've got our 2 stitches in one, trebles in 1 stitch. Change color to green. Here we're going to do 3 together. So 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to yarn over and change back to color B. Yay! And then you're going to do 2 trebles in the next stitch. 1, 2, and then you're going to treble in each of the next 2. 1, 2, and then you're going to treble, chain 1, treble in this final corner. So treble, chain 1, treble, and then you're going to slip stitch into the first treble over here, and you're going to carry your yarn on up, and yay, we are at this point of the square, which if you can kind of see, you can kind of start to see where the different corners are and how that's making us corners over here. So now then, you are going to fasten off your green or your color E yarn. Always give yourself a little bit extra here. So you can yarn it in. Because what you're going to do is you're going to fasten that off around your black yarn. Anchor it down, as always, because, you want to make sure that things are good and tight. And you can kind of see it a little bit better in the back here where you've got your 5 leaves and your 4 corners and your 4 sides. And then I do want to, because it's this green yarn, go ahead, weave that in, because you do not want that little one sticking out anywhere, because it's going to be a pain, because it always is. And the way that I'm doing that, I'm actually going to go back down through a couple loops here and go through over here. And then I know I came up to fasten it off. You can fasten it off at the base if you want. It's just what I'm used to doing. And then I come back through this direction. And then pull it a little taut, pull, snip. That way there's less reason for it to fray. Now we are down to just this black. And we are on our final row, which is going to be real simple. So you're going to chain 1, single crochet in that same stitch. If you've not caused it to go too tight from where you have fastened off your yarn from the previous row. Now you are going to single crochet in the next 27 stitches. 2, oh, wow, that one's wanting to create a little bit bigger of a gap, but you know what? Whatever. Again, you're just single crocheting, that simple single crochet all the way across, including in this one. You're just going to go into that stitch and single crochet. Then when you reach the chain 1 space, and it's going to look a little wonky, guys, it's okay. This is why we have this thing called blocking. You're just going to single crochet in every stitch around. In the corners, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Oh, and in this pattern, you do skip the first hidden stitch. So you do not. So what that means is you're going to single crochet, chain one, single crochet. See how that hides this stitch right here? Because normally you would go into here. You're just going to skip that, and you're going to single crochet around. And then you'll do that all the way at the end, fasten off and weave in your ends. See you in a second. So just to clarify, because this is the weird leaf corner, you do your single crochet, chain one, single crochet in here. You still skip that first stitch, single crochet in the second one, and then single crochet in the leaf stitch, and continue it on around. And again, it's gonna look weird. It's gonna feel like I've not done something right because it's wobbly or it's a little tight or it's gonna curl. There's a reason you block, guys, because when you get done blocking, it looks like this. I'm just saying, when you block it out, it looks like this. Okay, so it is definitely worth blocking, but it does even out, and then once you put it in the pattern that we're going to be making out of it, it will naturally relax all the way out. So I'm trying to get around to this other corner to show you the last one. Guys, I know this is going to be a long video. I thank you for your patience, especially all the ins and outs and the redos that I've had to do on this one because of my tooth and not being able to function very clearly. So again, I just thank you for your patience. But we did it. We got the Tudor Rose square done. So you're going to single crochet, chain one, single crochet, and then you are going to skip that stitch and slip stitch into the top of this one. Now you can invisible join it, or you can just fasten off and weave in your end. Because as much fighting as I've done, I'm not fighting an invisible join right this second. But here you go. We've got our Tudor Rose with our bright green leaves. This is what it looks like if you do it in the darker of the greens from YarnArt. And then again, you just block it out. And once you block it, it does kind of even out the edges. And then you are ready to make your next square. So I will post a picture of what blocking it looks like for me. If you have any questions about blocking it or anything else, let me know. Because like I said, probably not as high quality as I had hoped to make on this one just because of my tooth. But this is our first square, our Tudor Rose. And next week we will be making Catherine of Aragon. I cannot talk. You guys know who I'm talking about. Henry's first wife. Which you will need your black and gold for. And I will see you on the flip side. Because of your patience, I am going to give you, if you've made it this far, a little sneak peek, and that's all you're getting, of your Catherine of Aragon square. But I will see you next week, and thank you for your patience, guys. No one plans for a broken tooth. Love you. Bye.